Hey guys, this a market update over the last week or so. We've had a number of bullish catalysts that are going to set us up for the rest of this bull market. You need those catalysts to push you up right into a new all-time high. Usually in Bitcoin cycle, we're looking at the tail end of this year, maybe early next year for some sort of peak for BTC. And so, what the things that are going to push us there, well, they're happening right now. I want to go over them in this video. This is insane. Price action. Right? So all of that FUD stock market down, everything else, Bitcoin came into its 50-period moving average and has significantly bounced at this point, right? This is absolutely a bounce. And positive price action, we're now 93K. We're coming into the all-time high again. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes. So I want to go over those in this video. It's a very, very good price action. If you see here as well on the daily, broke through this downtrend, we're now coming into this support level, which is obviously going to act as resistance, probably for the tail end of this week buyers are coming in. There is a significant amount of capital coming into Bitcoin, and so you just have to ride that. Firstly, coming to some short-term data. You can see the markets flip bullish again. Tariff news dovish now, right? 200% tariffs everywhere. Well, no. We're going to just reduce them a little bit. We're still having tariffs. You can still get that slowdown in the GDP. However, less than before, the market has to be a little bit more dovish again. It has to come up again, not pricing in the worst-case scenario anymore. So you get a bit of a dovish flip. You can see here that this is short-term holders. So short-term holders in loss in bull markets, you get them. You buy those in bull markets, right? Short-term holders in loss. Pick up some BTC little bit soft. We're starting to recover again. Stock market's coming up as well. You can see that here, that number of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average is below 20%. These are areas you buy in the stock market. When BTC an asset with 50% yearly growth, especially in a bull market. You buy any dips, you buy any weakness. So we're right here and it's never as bad as it seems. Right? Because they're not just going to crash everything, it's a negotiating tactic. They've brought it down, they're just going to bumble us along a little bit. But they want tariffs, so they can cut taxes. The other side, they want to cut taxes the other side. In the States, tariffs, yes. Draw the GDP and inflation numbers down, and then a bit dovish on the other side with tax cuts that's coming. That's the catalyst towards the end of this year, is dovishness from the fiscal position in the States. Tax cuts that basically cancel out all of the higher taxes from tariffs. When you get 70% advances, that is usually a sign of a massive move for the next 6 to 12 months. So when you get that, which we did have right now, you buy that, and within 3, 6, and 12 months, most of the time you make profit. You make profit in the stock market. The currency goes down in value. You have to own assets. And when they're soft in any way, you have to get into them. You have to get into the best assets when they're soft. And now we're going back up again. Of course, we are currency always, the base is buy, when we're in the red always. And if you've got a long-term plan buy, we're in the green as well, and just wait. But we're going through a little bit of a dovish period, right? Because those catalysts are here. The main thing that flipped markets bullish this week was Trump just saying, look, we're not going to have 200% tariffs everywhere. We're going to drop them lower. They are going to still remain, but way lower than before. That eases markets, right? So now we're in a little bit of a bullish phase. However, if you look at the data, it's not looking good for economic data now. Ironically, I actually think that is the catalyst that sends us higher later this cycle, but we have to go through volatility right now. That's fine for me. The end of this cycle is, right, slowing GDP, slowing inflation, slowing economic activity. As you can see, higher customs duties and taxes, fiscal drag. What's that going to do? It's going to slow economic data, slow GDP, slow inflation. It's also going to spike potential unemployment. As you can see here, all of that's not good. However, what is the policy response from that lower interest rates, end of QT potential liquidity from Treasury or Fed, or whatever they want to do, liquidity into markets, and the cover to pass a massive spending bill through House and Congress of tax cuts, fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus is the solution to all of this. This data now is soft enough, and they created it. Soft data through higher taxes that creates all this soft data. Then on the other side, they can stimulate fiscal monetary as much as they want. That's the end of this bull market. And that is what is going to drive us higher. Those are the catalysts. It's happening. It's happening slowly, but it's all right here. If you want to just sit through the volatility that's going to happen when you get this data coming out, and then the policy response, you're going to get rewarded on the other side. What's happening in the U.S. right now, with regard to crypto policy as well, is absolutely insane. The Fed just announced this, which isn't going to make big headlines because, well, the Fed says something, and who cares? Not a big deal. It is a big deal. They were part of Operation Choke Point 2.0. They were part of completely destroying crypto activity in the States. Now that has been lifted, the board is resending its letter from 2022. The board will no longer expect banks to provide notification, and we will monitor banks through normal supervisory process. It's absolutely massive now. Banks can hold crypto, and that means all their big clients can hold crypto. You can hold it there, you can hold Bitcoin, and you can leverage it, you can take loans against it, and that means way more demand. Because you have that asset now to leverage. Wall Street is coming in this cycle. You can see strategy, you can see 21 Capital doing the same thing. You can see many other companies buying Bitcoin for their balance sheets, taking out debt, either convertible debt or just selling equity to buy BTC. You're selling all that garbage, you're shorting the currency to buy the asset. Wall Street is doing this. It's the biggest pool of capital in the world. If that isn't a catalyst for the rest of this bull market, I don't know what is. So we're all there, okay? You just have to have faith through this part that the rest of this bull market is all going to shape up. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, write comments. Have a good day, everyone.